So this is probably one of my all-time lows as being president of the UFC over the last 11 years. For the first time in 11 years, we're going to cancel an event. This Saturday's fight at Mandalay Bay is being canceled. Dan Henderson has a partial tear in his MCL and couldn't continue. He tried to train. He tried to continue to work out. He saw doctors, and there was nothing we could do to save that fight. For somebody to fight Jon Jones on 8 days' notice is tough to do. But to be totally honest with you guys, one guy did. Not only when I called him did he say, I'll take the fight. He said, I'll fly to Las Vegas tonight and fight him. And that was Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen accepted the fight with Jon Jones, wanted the fight bad. So as of, 8, 9 o'clock last night, we had a fight. We here at the UFC started working, started, creating different commercials. PR started getting ready to crank up. I was going to do this call, and this was obviously going to be a much different call this morning. But the one thing that I never thought in a million years would happen happened. Jon Jones said, I'm not fighting Chael Sonnen with 8 days' notice. Again, something that's never happened in UFC history. A guy who's a world champion and considered one of the pound-for-pound best turns down a fight. So that has never happened either. So right now what's happening is this fight is canceled, and we're moving. It'll be Jon Jones versus Lyoto Machida, Saturday, September 22nd, on the Toronto, Canada card at UFC 152. Yeah, how about this? How about he sits down? When he and I talk, he says, I got to sit down and talk to my coaches. His coach, Greg Jackson, says, there's no way you take this fight. This fight, you don't take this fight on 8 days' notice. It would be the biggest mistake of your entire career. Wow. Chael Sonnen's a 185-pounder who wants to move up to 205, who hasn't trained a day for this fight, and the fight's in 8 days, yet he says he'll fly here tonight to fight the supposed pound-for-pound third best fighter in the world, and the list goes on, the world champion, and you have so much, how much faith do you have in your champion and your guy? Now, I literally just bumped into Greg Jackson the other day, and I was kind of joking around about some of the things he said. I'll tell you what, I'll go on the record saying, this guy is a fucking sport killer, okay? This guy, this guy's from another planet. I've never even seen anything like it in my life. Tito's been the most difficult guy in the history of the company since I've been here, and Tito Ortiz did not take fights.
How do you think this affects Jon Jones' image right now? Because he's taken a lot of heat over the last 10 days or so for what he said about Machida. How do you think people will respond to him?
I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's great. The first fight ever canceled in UFC history since we've owned the company, and the first champion to ever turn down a match.
Did Jon specifically say he wasn't taking the fight because of that advice from Greg Jackson, or was that just one of the factors in his choice?
That is exactly why he didn't take the fight.
I know it's the heat of the moment, but how much does this situation possibly change your relationship with Jon Jones?
A lot.